Hi, my name is Detroit Miracle, and did you know that the number of dope fiends, crackheads, drug addicts, and junkies are at an all-time high rather than being at an all-time low? And did y'all know that there are numerous amounts of illegal drugs of various sorts and type rather than it just being one or a couple of types of illegal drugs? And did y'all ever wonder why that's the case? Well, if there were just one illegal drug and then a lot of people got addicted to that drug, they figure eventually they would get tired of it and get off of it. But if it's like 7 or 8 major illegal drugs off it out there for people to experience and use for various recreational purposes, then they figure even if one person gets addicted and eventually quits that drug, then they'll probably transition into another type of drug, and then so on and so on and so on. So chances are that person and those people will be drug addicts for the rest of their lives. Yes, that's the case. It's as simple as that. Because you hear about a new designer drug coming out every 5 or 6 years, and it seems like that drug was non-existent before that, and now they got K2, which is a legal substance, and you can buy it out of gas stations and certain stores, and then it gets you even higher than some of the worst drugs that are illegal. So think about if something is legal, then all ages can buy it, and they know if 100 million kids and adults get hooked on that, then they gonna probably transition into using cocaine, heroin, or crystal meth eventually. So it's a way to ensure that there will be fresh crops of drug addicts on the rise for later generations to come. Yes, people, I'm not crazy. They're selling this drug that's legal at gas stations and certain stores. Because if you use that, there's no way you ain't gonna go out and try some cocaine, heroin, and crystal meth. But I know we're not talking about that merely or solely, but rather people that are getting addicted to drugs for any particular reason. And people get addicted to drugs because of recreational uses, meaning they might party and experiment with certain drugs, and then there are some that get hooked on illegal controlled drug substance out of loneliness, depression, and despair, and that is a most unfortunate thing there. But this drug thing most certainly involves a supply and a demand. Think about it. Why do they grow so many drugs? Why do they manufacture so many drugs? Because there are at least a couple of 100 million people that are on those drugs or are addicted to those drugs. If there were just, say, a couple of 100,000 people out of billions that were just addicted to drugs, then the demand wouldn't be so high, so they wouldn't have to grow so many or manufacture so many. But they're doing things to create new crops of drug addicts, like making marijuana legal. And marijuana is a gateway drug, because if you keep smoking weed day in and day out, night in and night out, eventually you're going to want something stronger. So I heard cases where people had transitioned from smoking marijuana into using cocaine or smoking crack cocaine and then into heroin. So people, when they make things legal, such as K2 and marijuana, they are intending on making a fresh crop of dope fiends because they're growing trillions of dollars or manufacturing trillions of dollars worth of heroin and cocaine on an annual basis. And they need to facilitate that demand, or they need customers to buy all of those drugs because they just don't want them sitting in large factories gathering dust. So people, when they make things legal or make things relatively available, that don't mean you have to go out and try them and experiment with them. Because once you do, you're going to be an addict. And then once you become an addict, it's going to be I would say, a down spiral from that very moment. So watch out. And if y'all approve of this message, y'all are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel, Detroit Miracle. And please leave a comment by the comment section and a like. Thanks for tuning in.